he's like, you're a sandbagger. Like, and I was like, dude, I'm on single speed. I don't know why you're complaining.
What is the mindset of an ultra gravel going through rivers? I'm black. I can't swim.
You can tell me you miss him.
Yeah,
You can say it.
I miss you, bro.
It's like, there's like some people with like so much bandages on. I was like, I don't think you should be running.
Can you imagine?
Bro, you don't wear boxers in your ribs? After I did, I was like, why did I do the other angle? I like to joke about Austin. It's like, because like my friends from out of town, they'd be like, oh, how the guys? And it's like, I'll tell you this. The guys here make me look good. And that's all you really need to know.
Welcome to the Bridging the Gap Cycling Podcast. Thanks for joining us again. It's co-host Ella Small. I'm Kent Nichols,
Howdy.
and today we have the guest Ariel Marlowe on. Ariel is a cyclocross racer, a gravel racer, a race organizer. Do you mind introducing yourself in your own words?
Yeah. Hi, I'm Ariel Marlowe. As Kent said, I am primarily a cyclocross racer. Single speed is my favorite way to ride and race. I'm a community organizer. I lead rides in Austin, mostly social rides, but we lead a couple of like training rides. I led a lot with Cycleast. I race on Phenom with this guy, and we're trying to get this guy on the team. But
Let me know.
but yeah, no, I just love being on my bike, and I love helping other people get on bikes. And unfortunately, as it goes, I love talking about bikes because it's one of the few things I know. So I'm one of the lead organizers for Black History Bike Ride. But we're a nonprofit that takes people on community bike rides in order to educate them on the history, the Black history of places. We mostly do our rides in Austin. So it's like, we'll do probably like 12, 15 mile community ride that takes people around Austin safely, where they get to learn Black history of the different areas in a really fun way. Talib, who started it, is one of our good friends, and he was the director of the documentary. But he started it in 2020. I think he like invited some people, and they were like, I can't even remember the numbers, like 200 to 400 people showed up the first time. That was like the first one. That was like, I think like June 2020.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's been doing that. I started helping, and my good friend Brandon started helping too. And so we're like the lead organizers. Talib wanted to find a way to show his friends, to teach his friends about the history, so that then the way that they would relate to Austin or interact with Austin and the different parts of it and the different people would change. Because like the first step to change is like learning. And so he told some friends about it, created something small, and it like kind of blew up. And it showed that there was like a real need for that education, especially in like a fun, safe way. There was a real need for that in this city. And so yeah, he started doing it. I remember, what was it? It was in June. I'd heard about it, but I was doing like I'd been riding my bike a lot, but I was like bike marshaled for protests and stuff. So I was like doing a lot of that riding, and I think Juneteenth was like a day I decided to just take off for myself, and I just like didn't like do any prescribed things. I just kind of like hung out and rested. But I ended up doing the Black History Bike Ride, and in the spring, like doing the route, went online and found it and did it on a date. And did it on a single speed mountain bike, like single speed drop bar mountain bike that I built during COVID. Silly. But I did it on that, like on a date, and oh man, suffered in silence because it was so hilly. I didn't know the east side of Austin's hilly. And we went east, and then we went to campus, and then we came all the way we went west, and so we had to bike up like through Clarksville and like bike up to like then cross over to campus, and like I didn't know that was hilly. I didn't know what I was doing. And then like all the way to the like up Dean Keaton and all that, because the old route used to like go into campus and then go up Dean Keaton. And I just remember doing it, ended at the Victory Grill, and I saw Talib a few days later outside of Cycleast, and I'm like, okay, he's like a very tall black guy with locks. And so like indistinguishable, very distinguishable.
For sure.
There's not a lot of black people in Austin that like would be at Cycleast that look just like this guy. And so I saw him and I'm like, hey, I'm like getting in my car and I'm like, hey, are you the Black History Bike Ride guy? And he's like, oh yeah, that's me. And I was like, fuck you. And he's like, what? And I was like, I'm just kidding. No, I was like, I'm just kidding. But like, damn man, put a warning on your route that is hilly. And he just starts laughing. He's like, oh yeah, like yeah, it's we get that complaint a lot. But we like laughed about it. Yes,
We get that complaint a lot, but we haven't changed it.
no, we've
It's
changed
so
it
cool,
now.
though.
But oh man, like being a ride leader with that's like, I remember like so many people just being like, why is this so hilly? I hate Black history. I mean, they didn't say the last part, but they said definitely said the hilly part. But it's like all these black people made me come out here and climb these hills for what?
Retribution?
Yeah, I wish. It's funny because some we can laugh at them later.
But more fit than you.
Yes, because we have the power. This is what it is. It's us flexing on you. Oh, you think this is hard? Yeah, you know what? You know what's harder than this? Years of oppression. Why don't you decenter yourself? Got him. Oh, you're right. I can climb this hill.
Maybe it's not so bad.
Have you ever seen Amistad? You think they fucking complain? They would have been happy to ride a bike. But yeah, like then I ended up doing like a social ride with him and Brandon, and we all became friends. And then I volunteered for the next one for Black. And then I was like, I volunteered for one for Black History Month. So by February we did one, and yeah, I've been a ride leader since then. And yeah, we had the film, The Route to Emancipation, which was a 350-mile, basically a bikepacking trip, like assisted, I'll say assisted bikepacking trip that we did in May to talk about the story of black people in Texas and to talk about the origins of Juneteenth. The trailer's on YouTube. We're definitely going to do another screening in Austin. We don't know when or where, but we'll probably, what month is it? It's February. It'll be before June. But even if it's like by Juneteenth, we'll do it like once after that, then it'll be open to the public. Like we'll put it on like YouTube and incentivize it or something. But yeah, right now it's just the trailers on YouTube. We camped in like mostly campgrounds or like state parks.
Yeah.
So it's really good. I think there was one moment that we were kind of scared. I'll just get that out of the way. It was on the first day. We had rolled up to this route, to this spot, and it turns out it was like a private kind of like, this like private land where they had like weddings and stuff on. So it's kind of like that. And there was a road going through it, but we had to like go through a gate, and it was open on one side, but it said that it was closed for the weekend. And we went through it because it was like the camera guys wanted to get these shots of us biking through that area. I think it was like this drone shot. They really wanted to get it. And it's actually it's the shot that's used for the cover for the documentary. But then we get to the other side and we see that the gate's closed. And so we're just like, okay, like we have to think about this. It's like, okay, each of us will like, one by one, we'll hammer up to the gate, dismount real quick. One person will jump over the fence. We'll toss the bikes over one by one as we do it, and then we'll jump over. And so we did that, and it was one of the most efficient fence crossing jumpings I have ever done in my life. And as we're doing it and biking away, this guy walks out of his house, and he's like, hey, y'all lost? And we were just like, oh, no. Because like the other side was basically in a neighborhood, and so it was probably like the property owner or someone close to them. And they're just like, and we were just like, nope. And they just dipped, and we just took off. And so like the production guys and the crew in the truck, they weren't over there by then. They hadn't had a chance to drive around. And so we literally just like hopped on our bikes and took off. Like I like took off. I had the route, and I was just like, we like sat, we like one on each wheel. I pulled, and I was just like, right turn, left turn, right turn. And it was like, we just like crushed it out of this neighborhood.
Team time trialed it.
Yeah. It was nuts. And I was like, that was the only time I was nervous. But other than that, it was just like a lot of fun. I think it was something else that I had not done before. I hadn't done like a bikepacking trip of that kind of caliber, that length yet. I mean, I was like mid-season. It was May, so I was like really fit. And I was just like, okay, like give me the route. I'll ride it. I don't care. This is what I do. Just load all my stuff up. We went and did it, but I think the biggest thing was learning how to ride with other people. I think most of us were used to all three of us were used to doing a lot of solo riding, which I think has pushed us to big heights because we're all black cyclists who have been forced to ride solo a lot to get strong, to fit into places, to like not show up and be the only black guy on a ride and then get dropped by a group in the middle of nowhere, which has happened. I've even led rides back where I've gotten dropped because some white dude takes over and just like doesn't care.
Yeah.
I get dropped in the middle of nowhere. So I've had to like basically work by myself to push myself beyond my comfort zone. And a lot of that comes solo. And so I've done a lot of that, and I think Talib and Brandon have also done a lot of that. So us riding, we're friends, but we had to learn how to communicate these things so that we could take care of each other while all riding, so we weren't all just doing our own thing. We were like working together. And I think probably by like, I'd say before halfway of the second day, I'd say probably like a third into the second day, we had figured it out.
Yeah.
And we were able to like communicate. But that honestly like took me like kind of blowing up and freaking out in the morning, of being like, we're going to have to talk things through. We're going to have to figure it out, because if we keep just like soloing this, this is going to be really terrible. And I don't think you all understand that. Because out of them, I had the most like bike packing, and like long distance racing experience. And so it's just like, we either have to work together or this is going to be really bad.
It's going to be miserable.
And like, cause we'd have to like ride like 60 miles or like 40 miles and then get off the bikes and go interview someone. And then like try and eat something in a parking lot. Well, it's May, it's hot. Eat something in a parking lot and rest, and then get back on the bikes and make sure that our needs are met before we go do another 40 miles to go do another interview.
Yeah.
4 days in a row. And so like by the time like we were able to like communicate that, and I wouldn't say I was in the right with like the way that I addressed it, but it got to that point where you're out there and it's just like, I got to figure out some way to do it. I might as well freak out. But I think me doing that opened up space for them to also share their needs. And I mean, one of them was for me to chill out a little, but that happens. But yeah, we all shared it. I think it definitely brought us a lot closer. And I think it was a cool thing. We realized a lot about ourselves individually, but also a lot about our strength together and like the ability we had, like the things that we could accomplish by sticking together and working on those relationships. My favorite thing to do before I go to an area or do a ride or an event is to like research the bike history in that place. It's like my way of like centering myself in the midst of like this event or this activity I'm going to do. It like helps give me context for where I'm going to be at and how I can like, understand a place better before I get there and just like block everything out and only participate in this one narrowly focused thing. 100%. Makes me feel better about going to places and do stuff. Maybe like a more like mindful version of like tourism.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah.
And I feel like as a black person, I feel like sometimes like we tend to do a little bit of the research before going to a place just to make
like
sure.
some green book shit.
Yeah, like, hey, is this all right? All right, cool. It's cool over here. They used to be like that, but it's not like that anymore.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Go here. It's safe over here. Don't want to go there.
Yeah. Absolutely. I know you guys were at the screening, right? You were at the screening.
Yeah, sure.
You were there?
Yeah,
Okay.
we pulled up.
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
It really was.
It was right before I moved to Dallas.
That's right. That's right. Because we talked about it was like the day before.
That's been like 3 years.
Hey, it's felt like you can tell me you miss him.
Yeah,
You can say it.
I miss you, bro. You don't have to leave, bro. I'm about to flat his tires, so you can't leave.
I'm getting on a train.
Let's stab the train tires.
This shit ain't working.
Phenom was previously sponsored by Cycleast, where you worked until the shutdown, and now they're sponsored by the Peddler. So it's kind of tied all together.
Shout out to the Peddler.
Yeah. So Cycleast shut down 4 months ago, 5 months ago.
Yeah, like beginning of December.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Cycleast was like iconic, at least in the Texas community shop.
Yeah.
I know it's known like around a lot more than just Texas because of employees that have worked there and like raced like Hannah Simon, or the sponsorships and how they help out with the Texas Showdown series and stuff like that. They were around 10 years, just a little over.
Yeah, just a little over 10 years. I loved Cycleast. I think from the first time I went in, I remember going in during like kind of like midway through like the lockdown. Mm-hmm. It was like when bike shops and stuff got opened back up as essential services. I remember like the first time going there and like not feeling dumb about the questions I had. And it was a fairly simple thing, but I remember like specifically Doug and Em like helping me out the 2 times I went to really help me understand like what I was actually asking for, and to help me find ways to do that. I ran community engagement for the shop, and so I mostly spent my time creating bikepacking trips, creating social rides, collaborating with our teams and really the other community groups to get bike rides done safely. And we would like use our resources, which was either bike stuff or like me, I would get paid to go help, like not administer, but help go like lead rides or be like a ride leader or something for that, and create those spaces for connection. And I also ran our social media for a year and a half. I think a lot of people didn't know
crazy.
that.
That's crazy. I did not know that. That's
Yeah.
Which it was very curated. Very curated vision.
Bro.
It was, I remember, so actually it's like this really funny story. I had done an first interview with Specialized for like a community engagement job.
Yeah.
And it was like a remote interview, and I did it at Cycleast. So I did it at Flat Track. It was like a Zoom interview. Or maybe it was just a phone call. Can't remember. But I did it at the shop, and I remember like having a weird feeling after where I was just like, I don't think they like me. Because I mean, I asked very pointed questions about what actually like diversity and inclusivity mean and how they play out as part of like their like companies. I don't know, what they said they wanted. And so I asked specific questions, and I didn't really like the answers, and I didn't feel like the interviewer liked that I asked those questions.
Sounds like Specialized.
Yeah. But also, like, fuck Trek. They make bikes for cops.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my bad. My hands is fuck Trek.
I was like, I also got to say that. So, you know.
No, that's valid.
That's right on.
But yeah, so like, I remember having that, and then like chatting with Hannah Simon, who's at the shop, who would kind of ask me what interview I had, and like, we kind of talked about what I was wanting to do. And I don't think we had met each other and hung out, but like, she didn't really know what I did like for work or anything. So it's still super new to the bike scene. And so we had that conversation, and I guess, like, unbeknownst to me, she had a conversation with Russell about it because they were looking to hire someone to do that work.
Dope.
And I had actually, like, they, like, talked about it for a few days, and then, like, it was, like, a day or two later, I got an email that was just like, oh, like, we decided to go a different direction from Specialized. And I was like, okay. I was like, well, oh, I was right. I was like,
makes
oh.
sense.
I was like, well, I guess I still have my instincts. But then like I woke up, I remember it was like a Thursday or something. I woke up and I got a text so Cycleast was open from 7 to 7. And I got a text at 7 a.m. From Hannah, a long text that was like, hey, Russell says quit your job. Don't take a second interview with Specialized, and like come work for Cycleast.
That's crazy.
And so I like told her what happened, and I like basically was just like, okay, well, like, if I do it, like these are some kind of like negotiation points and like stuff I'd like to do. And she was like, that sounds great. Like, I want to listen. Like, I'm here to listen to you, and like Russell is here to like make sure that if we do this like job, like it not only like benefits you in the community, but also like it takes care of you, and like gives you the ability to feel like you're being yourself and you're taking care of your community, like while you're doing this work. And so I went in and chatted with Russell. It was Hannah and Russell, but like Hannah ran the shop, and so like very quickly she like had to go do stuff like work. So I remember I chatted with Russell for about 2 hours. and we interviewed for like, interviewed for like 10 minutes. And Russell was like, and he pauses and he goes, okay, here's the thing. You've already got the job. But now I just want to talk to you about what my dream is for like this position for the shop. And I was like, okay. And so we just like talked. We talked and like he shared like his like big dreams for cycling, like for the community and like big dreams for Cycleast. And he like told me the story of how it all happened. And he shared like the way that he has always wanted Cycleast to be a place for the community and to take care of the community, and like how he wanted to take that and put that into the online space. And so basically like gave me like, I wouldn't say a script, but like put me in the right mindset for taking on that position. And I'm very fortunate that mindset was already reflected in like how I feel and how I try to care for people. And so we saw eye to eye on that. And like, I love Russell. I'll love him forever for like giving me that opportunity to be in the community in such a special way. That not only like helped me, but allowed me to help so many other people and allowed me to like create space for myself and people like me. And yeah, I got to do a lot of really cool stuff in like those almost 2 years. And so, yeah, it's kind of nuts. Like I look back and like we accomplished so much because of, like I accomplished so much because of that special relationship that I had with Russell and with Cycleast and the relationship the Cycleast had with the community. A lot of like what I've done is try to create like overlapping space for communities to overlap and find like ways for us to like meet our needs and meet our wants like together, and it makes like it makes it a little bit less work for everyone. And so like too, like I'm excited that like when we announced that like Peddler was gonna be a shop, I was like, oh great, like I literally like now when I get to go get my bike worked on or do stuff, like I get to go hang out with the homies and like in this cool shop. And like there's like a lot of people live in this area. It's like almost halfway to Walnut Creek. Like you're north of Austin, so you can go do more rides. It's like a cool space, and you guys are doing the podcast here, which is tight. And I'm like, okay, like it's half the podcast is half Phenom. How can we get it full Phenom? How can we take care of this guy while also taking care of the whole thing and taking care of the team and the shop? And so it's like one of those things of like it seems like it's overlapping and it's building, it's like interlocking, and it's gonna make things a little bit easier and a whole lot stronger.
I mean, it's cool. We did like our FTP test party yesterday at what is almost become the default Phenom house. And it's half a mile down the street from the shop. So it's definitely like a super central spot. The tear down or throw down, whichever day of the week it is, ends at Crown and Anchor, which is, you know, a mile and a half south of here. And so it's sick to have the shop in like such a central location that can be not only like geographically central to Austin, but like symbolically central to the team.
Yeah, how was that?
Our first annual Phenom FTP party.
Yeah.
And that was your first FTP test?
Yeah,
right?
that was my first one. After I did, I was like, why did I do that angle? I was like, what was going through your head? I don't know.
Oh, it's an insane idea to line up 6 guys side by side and do FTP tests.
Can I say something though? Like honestly, like I know these guys are like trying to recruit me and everything like that, but I haven't seen like a team have like that much fun. And like this, like since why I left my previous team, because I was like, man, I'm not really having fun, and I'm like have to wear the same kit as these guys. But like yesterday, like looked fun. I was like, damn, I kind of wish I was there, but I'm glad I wasn't doing that. But, you know what I mean? Like,
Schubert just stood around and watched.
That's funny. Smart man. But you guys look like you guys have like a natural synergy, which is, I feel like that's a special thing. You know,
I think that's one of the reasons. And I'll say like I wasn't super well versed in Phenom when I like asked to join. I didn't even know there was a club team or a race team. I didn't even know how that shit works. And no one was really like trying to explain it to me. But I like was around some of the Phenom people enough, like Corey and Ken. Like you meet some of the people and you're like, these people seem pretty all right. And I started going to rides and riding everyone was nice, but they were also like strong. And if I like asked for help or like asked for advice, they would give it to me. And yeah, so when I asked Corey to join, it was kind of funny. Because he was kind of like, you want to join Phenom? Like, and I was like, he's like, well, we don't really like have anything to give you. It's like, you kind of just like join and pay dues and like you join a group of people. And I was like, yeah, well, like, I don't really need much. I mean, I've been racing by myself. Like it's good to me, but like, I would like to have some like camaraderie, like, you know, be in a group message, like, we all wear the same kit, so maybe we tell a joke with each other right before the race. And I think at first it was a little awkward just because random people. But I could see that, like, the others, that they had, like, a closeness.
Yeah.
It was like a close-knit group. And once I think I proved that I was, like, there to not only race with them but also to, like, try and be part of that group. Everyone was like, okay, cool, and like welcome me in. But like everyone's been really cool and fun. And I think the more that we do the rides, we do the training, but we like try to make it fun and we offer opportunities that just like kind of chill and get to know each other and do silly, crazy stuff like backyard FTP test. Yeah. But like that we can continue to like build just like a good community around racing. Mm-hmm. That like makes us want to continue being on bikes with each other.
That vibe, man. Yeah. You gotta have a vibe.
Speaking of cross, you raced your first season this year, right?
This was my first like full season, so like I'd say like a dedicated race calendar. It was my third season overall, but my first season was like I did like 2 races at the tail end, and then last year I did a handful. Mostly San Antonio and Austin based, because I love that race down in San Antonio. That was my first race. Best cross, yeah. Yeah, that was my first race. Well, it was at that course at the end of the season, like the weekend before states. They did a bunch of practice stuff.
I heard some good stuff out there.
Yeah, the people that run it, the course is good. And so I've always made sure I did that race. But yeah, this year I think I did the full race series, the TXCX race series this season.
And you were the series champion?
I was the TXCX Cat 4-5 state champion.
Okay.
And you did it all single speed,
I did it all single speed. It was crazy. There was a guy at the end of the season, we're racing in the 4-5, and he's like, you're a sandbagger. Like, and I was like, dude, I'm on single speed. I don't know why you're complaining. Like, I don't have the points. I might have them by the time states comes around, but this is like a week away. And I was like, I don't have the points. I'm racing single speed. And it's not like then I switched to race geared later. It's like I'm doing 2 single speed races a day.
Right.
Like, don't know much about sandbagging. I don't know about that.
But you've got Lago Vista coming up soon.
Yeah, reg for Lago. I'm going to go up there with some of the Phenom teammates and see how it goes. I don't think there's anyone else racing in the 5.
So your first road race?
Yeah, it'll be my first road race. I've seen a couple, didn't really understand what was going on, but now I'm like trying to get a picture of it, because usually like going to like first time races, I'm just like, whatever, who cares? And then a bunch of people have told me that maybe that's not the best way to do this.
If you want to be competitive.
Yeah. We'll see. You know, I've got 2 strategies. It's either take off on the beginning and ruin a bunch of people's races.
See who you can chase.
Yeah,
or who can chase you.
Yeah, you see who will chase me. I was like, or just like sit back, ride on the tail, try and help bridge a group, and see who comes with me on that, and then just kind of take off at the end. I hear it's pretty climby and.
Yeah, I was about to say, do you like climb?
I love climbs.
You love climbing?
Yeah, I love climbs.
Oh, man.
So.
Yeah, that's well.
Yeah, it should be okay.
That should be great.
We'll see, though.
That should be great.
I was like, I think I should have some fun.
Yeah, 100%. Downhills too.
No, I'm not too happy. I'm not too happy about downhills.
I
I get nervous.
Yeah.
Get nervous.
Yeah, same, man. I come from a flat place, so
Yeah,
it's like I was like, damn, there's descending. What is that about? How are you dealing with it physically? Because I'm in the first week of a new training block, and I'm getting the volume back again, and the body's being like, oh yeah, bikes. We're remembering how this works. How are you feeling? Even you doing a ramp test? You're riding a little bit more.
I took a break like it's like December, like halfway through December, I basically only rode like 3 times in 3 weeks, and then I got back to Austin. I was out of town. I got back to Austin, and I kind of didn't really ride. Not even like commuting miles because the shop closed, and so I didn't have a job, so I didn't have to like bike in, and so I had a bunch of 0-mile weeks until what was it? Until like 3 weeks ago, and then I was like, I went into the shop, into the Chumba shop, and was talking to them, and one of the guys was like 38 days till Mid-South, and I was like, oh shit. I was like, okay, it only takes like what, like 3 weeks to develop to get back the habit or get back into things. And I was like, okay, if I just get back and ramp my riding back up. And I was like, okay. And so it's been all right. I think it kind of kicks back in pretty easily, especially I have basically just got back into commuting. So I think I'm trying to average like 150, 120, 150 miles a week. And that'll like get me kind of up closer to like where I need to be.
Mid-South's 100 miles?
Mid-South's 100 miles. Signed up for the single speed 100. It's been my second year doing it. Yeah, most of my miles are also single speed.
Ooh. How did single speed 100 go last year?
Oh boy. I'd never done Mid-South, and it was apparently really dry that year, which is good for that.
COVID was crazy.
I got some loaner wheels right before, and me and the mechanic are not sure what happened, but within the first 31 miles, my through axle started unthreading somehow. And I wouldn't say I'm a bike mechanic. I worked at a bike shop, but I was certainly not a mechanic. And so when the free hub body came off, it like basically rattled off as the through axle unthreaded. It rattled off a little, and so instead of like, I don't know, checking to make sure the poles were in the right spot, I just popped it back on and threaded the through axle back.
Yeah, cranked it up.
Which, as I started pedaling, I realized turned my bike into a fixed gear.
I was just binding up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just like seized up, and I had to, at that moment at mile 31, decide whether I was going to try to finish the race fixed gear or just hop in a truck. I was like kind of struggling, and some woman in like one of the pickup trucks or whatever, like on the course, was like, "Do you want to hop in? Like, do you want?" And I was like, "How many miles?" I was like, 69 miles to go.
Nice.
And I'm gonna do. It's just kind of like it was just kind of just worked out like that. It was like 69 miles to go, and I am going to ride fixed gear for the first time and try to complete Mid-South gravel for the first time.
That's crazy.
Fixed gear, and I don't know how long this is going to last. And so I did it. I went for it. I double light cramped a lot. I also forgot that I had to ride fixed a couple times, so I didn't like fall, but I got bucked like 1 or 2 times. I'm lucky that I was wearing times, because like, so it would happen and I would just unclip. I learned a lot of things that day.
Yeah.
I learned a lot that day.
Character building.
What bike was that on? Is it
This is my Salsa Storm Chaser.
Is that single speed from factory? Or is it a geared bike?
It's single speed. So you can, it comes as single speed usually. It's like their purpose-built single-speed race bike. Yeah.
Cool.
You can gear it, and so when I first had it built up, it was geared, but with the ability to, it was geared with like axis, so the ability to just like switch it out.
Gotcha.
You can switch the dropouts.
Are you still rocking the same bike for this year?
No, actually, and I haven't told people this yet, except for like very close to me. But I was asked to join Chumba's rider team.
Ooh, badass.
Damn, couple snaps.
Looking sponsor correct.
Yeah, I do. And so they're building a bike for me. I have a personal, personally sized Chumba Terlingua to race gravel and cross with this year.
Oh, bro.
Yeah,
That's
I'm pretty
dope.
excited. And I certainly hope I don't have the same kind of year I did last year. I'd like to do really well. I think I still even with that, I finished pretty well, pretty strong. I think for single speed, I was still top 15. which was kind of
Yeah,
nuts.
that's crazy. That's wild. That's wild. Then the run fixture for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I like could walk after.
That's a great achievement.
I could walk after, and I could walk the next day. It was kind of nuts. I have not ridden fixed since then.
Yeah.
I don't plan to. But yeah, looking forward to the new bike and going back out to Stillwater and seeing how the race goes this year.
Hell yeah, dude. I bro, respect, bro. I can't even.
It's
say
crazy,
it.
dude. I've been working with Bikes or Death for, I guess, probably almost 3 years now. Patrick called me up or hit me up pretty randomly and talked about bringing me on to kind of help grow the community, the online community that he's had, and bring that into real life. And so I've been working with the Bikes or Death team with the Texas Showdown series and also with bringing some live podcasts out.
Are you going to be doing East Texas Showdown in the coming month or so?
I will be there helping. Yeah. I wrote it last year, kind of last minute.
Cursing Patrick the whole way.
Oh man, yeah. If you saw the Instagram story, it was quite hilarious. But I kind of wrote it accidentally, but this year the plan is to be there helping support the race, support the riders, do a lot of the stuff for the lowdown, which is more of the group camping, bike packing trip rather than a race campsites. So I'll be there, kind of helping bring those spaces up and let people have fun. Yeah. I'm excited to do that instead of riding 200 something miles.
Yeah. No, that's why I do crits.
I'd say like my thing is like if it's over like 70 miles, I'm gonna want it to be over very quickly. And so like with ultra stuff, it's hard for me to do that day after day. But if it's like a solo bike, like a single bike packing trip, like one night with a group of people, that's fine. But like racing by yourself and like sleeping outside at like 2 a.m. with like a trash bag on your head for like 3 days, that's not for me.
Yeah.
I'll help other people have fun, but not for me. This is what I'm saying. Like I keep jumping into hard stuff without like really knowing what I'm getting myself into, like not really being prepared.
Yeah.
And like having weird things like that happen and just like still goes all right.
It's a learning experience.
So it's like, well, might as well go do it again. Maybe a bit more prepared. A bit.
I think it's like kind of crazy that like sometimes you get yourself in situations where you probably wouldn't do it if you knew what it was going to be, and you get yourself in it and you just like figure it out as you go. Yeah. Sometimes it makes it like a little bit better. We're doing it that way, going in it blindly.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I've done some stuff and it did not go well for me, and that was kind of a learning curve. I was like, okay, like maybe I should be better prepared, and a lot of that was like, I think I went into things with like the right mentality, enough training, maybe not enough experience, but also maybe not the right gear. And so I've had like problems with like bad weather where I didn't have the right stuff, or like all my stuff soaked through, or like I wasn't aware of the type of like challenge. Like when you ride in East Texas and the mud that's there, the roads that are there, it like basically when it gets wet, I can't remember what it's called, but it gets wet and it turns to like basically concrete. And it's just like that. That's hard. And so you, like making sure that you're aware of the place that you're going to, but also like having like better equipment, like that's really helped me gain more experience. And so now it's like, I'll be all right.
Yeah.
We'll see. As long as it's sunny. That East Texas one was.
It was
something.
gnarly.
Yeah.
When the road turned into a river.
Oh man, that I won't talk about that. I like rolled up. I was with like a group of people. So my role was like I was just gonna go at a steady pace, let people ride with me the whole time. I also we had just put together a new bike at the shop, and I guess maybe I bumped a derailleur or something. I was riding geared for this because slow bike packing. And so as the race started, I only had 3 gears. I had in a 12 speed, I had probably like my 11 and my 10 and then my 3.
Mm-hmm. Great.
Yeah. And those are like the only ones that the chain would stay in.
Jesus.
And so I'm doing that the whole first day. And then we get to the river. We get to the road where the route says go straight. There's no road there. You know, luckily it was still daytime, but there's no road there. And we all start, and it's four or five of us, and we all get there, and we all just stop, and we're like, so who's gonna go? And they're like, oh, we'll go. And I was like, okay, I'll go, I'll lead. And like, you guys follow me. So I start pedaling and I probably get like 5 to 10 yards out. And I look back and no one else has come. No one else has followed me. And I'm just like, I hate getting my feet wet. And it was just like, at a certain point, just treading water. Full feet in there, and like I don't know how low the road is. I don't know where the potholes are.
Yeah, you could just fully submerge.
Yeah, there's like 2 like side streams going in, and it just goes on. You don't know where it ends because it just ends in the road that is just the same color. I met this couple so we did the lowdown. So we camped out. Like we had like 2 days. It was like 75 and then like 65 the second day or something like that. We were at the campground, and I woke up in the morning and was getting ready, and I met this couple, and they were drying stuff out by the fire, and they went through at like 9 o'clock or something like that, and it was like pitch black.
Oh.
And they just like basically walked up to a lake. What was like to them seeming like a lake, and the route's like going straight, so they backtracked, and they're like, maybe we missed a turn. They go back, and it's the lake, and they have to like walk their bikes through it. This water that's like at this point like just under, I guess, like waist deep. Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
It was like deep at that point. Yeah, they had to like walk their bikes through, and they like got in at like 11 or something like that. But yeah,
That's how I felt crossing the James River at Central Texas Showdown at like 10 o'clock at night. It's
the slippery rocks.
slippery rocks. It's like 40 degrees outside. It's like 10 o'clock, and I'm just like, I'm pissed at this point.
Yeah.
I don't have anyone to be mad at. I'm just mad. Like, I've got to get my feet wet. Like, I've got to, man, why did I do this? Yeah.
Man, I got a question. Why do y'all do this? Why? What is the fun aspect? I'm a crit guy. Like, I do 45 minutes to an hour, and I'm in and out. What is the mindset of an ultra gravel going through rivers? I'm black. I can't swim. Like this is crazy. Waist deep.
Excellent points, Ellis.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I just want to know what's the vibe, because y'all trying to get me on a gravel bike, and maybe I might dip my toe in, but my whole waist.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I mean like those. For me, that's not what I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for that. I don't really enjoy it. It's something that maybe I look back and I'm like, oh, I was out of my comfort zone and I survived. But like, I'm not really trying to put myself back in that. Like, I don't know. That's why I've always, with those events, I've only ever done the lowdown, which is just the bike packing part. And I like lead bike packing trips. And so it's just like the chillest version of whatever the event is like where I'm trying to be. But also, I don't know, like 3 days is a lot of biking.
Yeah, my biggest regret during Central Texas Showdown was passing the lowdown camp right before crossing that James River and not stopping and just camping with them.
Yeah.
Because y'all did, 3 days, and it was like 65, 75 miles a day. Mm-hmm. And then I did the 475-mile route that went way further south and then looped back. And it just happened to cross paths with where y'all were camping on the James River or the Llano, one of those. I see the campfires, and I know that's where y'all are camping, and I was so tempted to stop. And for some reason, I didn't. And man, I was kicking myself 10 miles later. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, that was a great night. I like slept in a hammock in this little part in the trees and just looked up
rubbing
at the stars. The campsite next door had some fish fried in cornmeal. These Boy Scouts, so they came over with fish, bro. I'm sorry, man. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like the lowdown is like the best. Like, yeah, there's water crossings. That's like, I think that's just part of like adventure biking. You hope that like you don't go through one that like is deep. Mm-hmm. But you just bring extra socks and you numb yourself to everything that you feel.
You'll get numb.
Yeah.
You'll get numb wading through water at 40 degrees a night.
That's definitely not the fun part.
No.
But like the views, like when you're at the top of a climb, so like it's like when you see like Central Texas had this one, I can't remember what it's called, but it's like you go up and you see this high point and you kind of see like a road and you're like, oh, cool. And then like 45 minutes later, an hour later, you're at the top of that and you're like, oh, what? I mean, but you've been working the whole time.
Yeah.
But when you get to that point, you look and you see this giant valley there, and you're like, I came from there. I hope I don't have to do this again. But wow, look what I did.
Yeah.
And then it's always great to get off the bike. It makes me enjoy getting off the bike so much more.
Yeah. Looking back at it, I enjoyed almost every second of the race during the daytime. And then as soon as night falls, it is miserable.
That's why you just gotta camp at night.
Yeah,
Just go sleep. He'll be there in the morning.
Be with the sun, man. You know what I mean? It's rise with the sun, fall with the sun.
Bro, you're 69 kilos.
Yeah, no, it's funny. I looked down and it was like it said it on 69. I was like, oh, I gotta get a picture of this. And I came back and it said on it again. I was like,
Nice.
I was like, and that's my weight forever. I even went and updated it in Strava.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, I want people to know this is a fact.
I don't know what 188 is.
You're like 85.
85.
Yeah, 190 is
Good even
86.
Odd? I don't know. Solid.
Yeah, it's solid. It's
Yeah,
an
you're
angle.
85. I'm 75. 69.
69.
During the marathon, I was just like 4:20:69, and like this lady and this couple like behind us like got so confused. They like didn't know why I yelled it. They were like, "Was that someone's number? Like, did he see something?" Like, and they were like wondering like out loud. They were just so confused. I was like, "I'm just yelling stuff."
Don't mind me.
Where were you posted up?
We were at Weberville, North Pleasant or Pleasant Valley for a bit, and then we went out. We like rode alongside the race on 5th Street by Central Machine Works, and then we were on the south side of Central Machine Works. So was it Cesar Chavez for a while?
Yeah, because you go on Tillery and then back over or something. Yeah. I ran it last year, and that is a lonely part of the course.
Dude, it's like people were like.
Yeah, there are some breakdowns happening on the east side.
Megan was like, it's okay. There's like. You have this many miles, this, and I was like, maybe you don't tell people how many, like you don't give them a number. You just say, keep going, sport.
You got 10 more miles to go. You look like you about to die right now. Look at his knee. His knee's swollen.
I know, there's like some people with like so much bandages on. I was like, I don't think you should be running. I was like, all that KT tape, I think that you need that shit to sit down.
It ain't working, dog.
Man,
It ain't working.
yeah. I mean, honestly, kudos to them. Running's hard.
Yeah, we heard him today. We heard him come past my house. I thought, I thought somebody was yelling at me.
Yeah,
I woke up out of my sleep.
Who is yelling outside? It sounded
Yeah,
like a sorority
literally,
party or something.
yeah.
I get up
Here's
and
some
geek out
shots!
like, oh my God. Dude, my first marathon actually was Dallas Marathon, and I went up the one hill in that marathon, and someone had shots of Fireball at the top. I took one, and that was like the biggest mistake ever.
Someone offered me Fireball during Steamboat at like the top of like one of the hardest hills, and I was just like, they were like, "Do you want a drink?" And I was like, "What is it?" They were like, "Fireball." I was like, "Hell no!" And like sprinted away from them. Like I suddenly gained the ability to run away from evil, and I was just like, "No, get away from me, or I'll relapse."
That flaming demon was
I was like,
chasing
"Oh
you.
God,
Fucking pitchfork and all.
not today, Satan, not today."
What is the obsession with Fireball in like runners? I've seen I was going on Instagram today and I was looking at a bunch of people who just had Fireball. Like, is it just the size that it comes in?
I don't know. It's rough stuff.
Yeah, my first drink was a Fireball. And,
Not a
you
fan.
see, I don't drink no more.
Oh, you don't drink anymore?
No. It's been so many years.
I drink, but
Yeah.
not a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I drank a lot a long time ago, and now I just
Now
enjoy,
you're just
enjoy a
an
nice
occasional-
Mandela
I wish I
every
did.
now and then.
I wish I did though, bro, because I feel like I miss out on the social aspect of like bars.
Bars suck.
Yeah,
they
they
cost
do.
money.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You can just go do FTP tests with the homies and
Right.
drink NA Bush after. That's what Corey was doing. I like swear to God, I looked at him and he had like a bush and it said NA, and I was like, who just drinks bush flavored water? And I was like, that guy's different. Corey is built different.
Built different. He
He is
brought that
tough.
too. He wasn't handed it. He brought it.
He just like dropped the like highest like. Well, I guess Mike's is the highest, but Corey's.
Nope.
Oh, it's Mike.
Corey got
It's Corey.
328.
It was like he just casually drops that, looking not sweaty,
Crazy,
cool as hell, and then just
crazy.
drinking an NA Bush after. And it's like, man, I need to figure out what he's doing and like do that.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Ariel, he's like 35 pounds heavier than you.
Okay, so maybe I just need to start eating more.
No, it makes sense that he has a higher FTP.
I need more. I want to put power down.
This was the danger of putting you on an FTP test. You were living in ignorance, and now you're like,
I mean, I'm still a little ignorant. I definitely should get a meal plan. So any companies who want to sponsor me for a meal plan.
any companies who want to sponsor the podcast for a meal plan.
Oh, we all need to eat.
Yep, and we'll get Ariel fed.
Or my mom will send you emails blaming you for
We would love
us
that.
being undernourished.
Yeah, like cyclists that use our bodies constantly, all the time. Yeah.
You get emails from your mom a lot telling you to eat?
They're text messages.
Yeah.
But I also feel like she's also been texting Megan that because Megan's been like, have you eaten? Have you eaten? Did you eat enough? Did you get a snack? And I'm like, I love you, but no, I guess it's just I love you. I love you, and you're right.
That's love, man. Y'all about to get me started on some shit. I mean, yeah.
Get started.
No.
You know, there's good women in Austin.
No.
I wouldn't say there's a lot of them, but there's good women in Austin.
There's a lot of alt ones, right? There's a lot of alt ones.
Alternative women, yes. There's a
Yeah.
lot of women with alternative lifestyles.
Drops mic. That's all it needs to be said. If you understand, you get it. If you understand, you get it.
I'm just
for
saying,
sure.
I don't know. I like to joke about Austin. It's like, because like my friends from out of town, they'd be like, oh, how are the guys? And it's like, I'll tell you this. The guys here make me look good. And that's all you really need to know. I was like, that's where you got. That's it.
Yeah. That's the real. That's the real.
Present company excluded, obviously.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
We gotta cover your ass.
We
Chevy Butter.
We make-
Covered by Chevy Butter.
we're talking about women.
I love women.
Yeah, we're talking about women.
I love women. I'm the biggest fan of women. I love them. I need them. And I want to make sure that they persist, which means doing what they need and taking care of them, which means giving them her chamois butter. You can put it on your bibs. You can put it on your skin. It's great for almost anything.
Can you eat it?
Anything you say.
I said almost anything.
I need to show me.
It's definitely on the website. It says do not eat.
Oh,
Is it like lotion? Is it like lubricant?
Yeah, it's like lubricant. I know the regular one is made out of like coconut oil. So like some people do
that's what I use.
like use it. Yeah.
That's what I use.
As like a lotion.
That's what I use for. A lot of
One of my Megan told me that one of my friends used it as chapstick the other day, and I was like, huh. And so I went and looked at the ingredients. I was like, okay, coconut oil. I was like, okay. I was like, I could see.
Yeah.
I was like, I could see why. You know what? Not my lips, not my problem.
you gonna throw some Euro style on your lips?
I am so terrified that I'm just gonna get Eurostyle in my eyes one day. Like put it on and then forget to like wash my hands and just be like, oh, and then just start
Like I burn.
involuntarily crying.
Wake up the next day pink. Pink.
Shaking. I'll have the
Got
her.
that crust.
I'll be her.
That crust.
So you've got Chamois Butt'r, you've got Chumba. You're lining up a little sponsorship list.
You're the man.
Yeah.
You're a privateer.
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 I'm gonna have my own YouTube channel someday.
Shit.
No, I'm
Damn,
good.
feeling
No,
called
I'm
out.
good. I'm good. No, I'm
Please
calling
get
out
us
other
one.
people,
Please get us
the specialized ambassadors who have their YouTube channels and their gravel races and complain about.
Until Specialized dropped everybody.
Oh yeah, until Specialized dropped everyone. Oh man. Well,
And they got a new batch.
yeah.
No?
Yeah, they got some new guys.
It's almost like they don't care about people. Oh.
Just money.
It's like, oh, you're not selling bikes with your YouTube channel? Maybe we have to reevaluate this relationship. Yeah. But, you know.
You can keep all that stuff from last year, but you know.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely kept my Rocky Mountain bike. They're like, you're an ambassador. And I was like, okay, help me do stuff. And they're like, here's a bike. I was like, okay.
Sweet.
Okay. I'll take it for free bike. I'll take it.
Tag us in the post.
Yeah.
Tights and boots for sure,
man,
for sure. Can you imagine?
Bro, you don't wear boxers in your bibs? That's good. Just Chevy butter for me.
Hey, man.
That's all you need.
If it's good for her, it's good for me.
Sometimes I get behind people and wish that they're wearing underwear because their bibs are so worn.
Yeah, the ones that that Sandora had on during that.
But they had an ass on.
Bro, they're like,
It looked like he was.
there was like
smuggling some
nothing
lemons in there.
underneath. It was blue, and then it was just like clear, like mesh blue, where like the inside had kind of fallen. He was like, yeah,
The short shorts.
yeah, and they were short.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like tried to wear some of the older bibs, and they
They don't
are so
do it.
short.
They are. Yeah,
So
yeah.
short. I gotta wear them. I wear them when I go like mountain biking or trail riding. I'll wear them under shorts. Real ones, yeah.
I mean, unpopular opinion, like, you like a good short from time to time?
Dude, I love short shorts. 6-inch inseam. You gotta wear the compressions under.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or have the shorts with the built-in liner.
Oh, I cut that shit out. It's uncomfortable.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I just wear compression shorts. Yeah. Yeah, I can't do the liners.
Yeah, they be holding you up.
Yeah, it's weird. Mm-hmm. Like in not the right places.
Yeah, I'm wearing one right now.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll cut that.
Not leave that one in. Leave that one in. You see, I got the basketball shorts underneath the jeans. They got a liner. I got a liner.
Yeah, I used to wear shorts under my pants because my waist was too small. And so my pants, like, I was like in between like a husky and like a small men's fit, so I had to wear like shorts underneath.
Just to stretch it out a little
Just
bit.
to stretch it out a little, so
Fill
it
it
wouldn't
out.
like cinch my waist. Because I went to like a uniform school, and so we had to like, tuck our
Facts.
shirts in.
Facts.
And so if I had it too tight, I get clowned. But if I wore the basketball shorts, it would make it a little thicker. You know? It's like-
Yeah.
and then people would see it and be like, "Oh, you ready to ball?" I was like, "You damn right, I'm ready to ball.
That's
You're
why
talking
I'm
about
wearing 'em."
soccer, right? Let's kick that shit."
You know, damn, that's actually crazy. I thought people were wearing basketball shorts. I thought they weren't wearing underwear underneath them, and I thought it was like a preteen thing when you go
Yeah.
through puberty. I thought it made something work right or grow. I just so.
Oh man.
Yeah, I free balled with the basketball shorts, and I thought it was underwear until you jump and then like pants slide, and then like there's like, was that your ass? Like, you know what I mean? It happened once that I figured out this. Nah, man, people are wearing underwear, basketball shorts, and pants. They're wearing 3 layers of protection. People are wearing.
Was it Miranda who called Austin the white people's Atlanta?
Yeah, facts.
So true.
Facts.
So true.
Facts, no, 100%. Yeah, it really is. And I was like, damn, it makes me want to go back to Atlanta.
Oh, dude, I love Atlanta.
I love Atlanta.
I love Atlanta, but someone would definitely hit me with the car.
Yeah, not a cycling paradise.
No, I mean people ride bikes, but they're working on it.
Silver Comet. You ever been on Silver Comet Trail? It goes
Yeah.
from like, that's just lit.
They're
That's
like
lit.
they've built out a bunch of stuff and it's nice, but it's like I wouldn't say biking around in the city is very safe.
Yeah.
No, I love my life in Austin. I think every time I realize that like if I make my life less about me and more about building community, then like I get to enjoy this place more. And it allows me to kind of like build a place that allows me to rest in it too.
Yeah, for real.
And I think that's like the biggest part is like a lot of my efforts have been for other people, but at times people have let me know that like they've seen what I've done and it means something to them, and they like also use like kind of in that full circle of like them caring for me, and then I get to like relax just like I want for other people. And so that's been a really cool place because I think people in Austin like honor that. Mm-hmm. And when people see that someone cares about them, it reminds them that they can be safe to care about other people.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Like, we're doing this. We're making the YouTube videos and the podcast and everything, and it's really easy, like, to just get in your head about it and, like, be embarrassed of just what are other people thinking of it. Like, hey, this isn't, it's maybe not as polished as other content I've seen, and so it's easy to, like, feel like you're being judged about it, but having people like in the community that are supportive, the team, you like all the people that have reached out and like told me explicitly like how they're enjoying it and everything really helps.
Yeah.
It matters. It goes a long way. You know what's funny though? I feel like as long as like you see a person growing, or like they might be doing the same thing, like you said, like the quality might not be what they might see elsewhere or something like that. But if you see somebody being consistent and you see somebody elevating or stepping it up every time, I feel like you can't really knock that. And if anybody's hating on that, it's really like, you know, try to keep it PG, but like forget about them. You know what I mean?
Forget about it.
Forget about them.
Yeah,
Forget
about it.
about them. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like it's, you can't knock the hustle. Mm-hmm. Nah, you know, and if you're not doing it, just appreciate it. Don't be a hater from the sidelines.
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys tuning in for the second episode of the
Which camera to look at?
of the Bridging the Gap podcast. Really appreciate you joining us, Ariel.
Yeah.
It's been a great episode, and super stoked with what we're going to be able to do in the coming season with Phenom, with Black History Bike Ride, and with Bridging the Gap.
Yeah, I really appreciate you guys having me on. It's been a lot of fun. I was looking forward to this.